Hi, welcome to our session on studying STEM. We're not sure how many people to expect, so we're going to just slowly get started here. I'm just going to kind of introduce our session and the format. And you are welcome, after we're done to unmute yourself and ask questions. There's also the chat, since this is a meeting, and you can pop questions in there at any point, and we'll have time at the end to answer those questions. So my name is Molly Lane. I'm from Rochester Institute of Technology, or RIT, and I'm being joined by Rachel McNeil from Union College, Julie Lovelace from WPI, and then Dan Guthrie from Oregon Institute of Technology. Correct, Dan?
Yeah.
Thanks. So we're each going to do a little presentation, kind of focusing on our school and a little bit about STEM, of course, related to our school. And then, like I said, at the end of that, we will definitely address your questions in the chat. And then also, if you want to unmute and ask those live, we can take care of that too. So Dan is going to get us started.
Okay, let me share.
Excuse me, before you get started, yeah. I'm part of your group also.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Walton from Florida Institute of Technology.
Oh, hey. Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize. So if you want to rename yourself just so people can see where you're from, and then do you mind going fifth with your presentation then?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. And I think we were going to do like 7 minutes because we thought we had 4 people, but we'll do like 5 so that we have enough time for questions.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Good. Yeah. Welcome. Good morning. Thanks for showing up on a Sunday. I'm just talking while I get my screen share fired up. Let me start the slide. Can you guys see a blue screen that says live, learn, earn? Yes. All right, good. Well, good. Well, let me start my stopwatch here. So my name's Dan. I'm an admissions counselor at Oregon Institute of Technology. We're located in Southern Oregon, about as south as you can get, 15 miles north of the California border. So we're known for our engineering programs, a lot of our health science programs, but today I've broken it down into just the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math that we offer, what the programs will look like, and then where they can take you. So let's talk about science. So we've got a few different types of sciences. So when you hear the word science, you traditionally think, I'm going to be staring at a test tube all day with a white coat, and you're going to look like the guy in my picture all day. But science goes a lot of different directions. So at Oregon Tech, we do have medical sciences, and these programs on the left do have a separate application process. So you'll do a series of prerequisites and go in there. So if you want to work in a lab, test blood, test, pathogens, things like that, it's going to be a science pathway. Medical imaging, to look inside the body without having to cut it open. Sonography, radiology, looking at ultrasounds. That's one of the most exciting ones. That's the pathway you'll take. Nursing, dental hygiene. Then we have, if you're thinking of being a doctor, you're a science major, right? So you're going to be doing biology, health sciences, learn about the teeth and the animals and pharmacy and everything. And then earth sciences, environmental geology, wildlife biology, and some great pathways you can take to become a professional doctor, go into research. Who do you think came up with the mRNA and the vaccine for COVID-19? It was science students, and it's a great way to help the world. So technology, what a broad word. It means everything. So at Oregon Institute of Technology, all of our programs are technology infused. So you could be a business major and still have that technology background. So healthcare and operations right now are 2 of the biggest businesses in the world, and technology is the reason for that. With the health informatics, IT, cybersecurity, you can see all of the different ways that technology affects the world. I mean, you could go into, network admins are as important as CEOs and sales managers now. If the network goes down, it's over. The biggest businesses in the world lean on their network admins more than anyone else. And app and game development, I play games with my son. He's 3. We look at apps, and that was all done by a technology engineer. And I really appreciate what they've done. It helps me with some silence in my home. So engineering, so many different pathways. So geomatics, look at these guys out looking, surveying the hillside in Klamath Falls. You can go into government, heavy construction. Think about these giant baseball fields and arenas. This is engineering, that's civil engineering. These guys are visionaries. So if you have creativity, if you're very math heavy and you want to help change the world, engineering is a good pathway. And we have computer systems engineering as well, which is what a lot of schools call computer science. So you could do the hardware, which is computer engineering, embedded systems. Think about Siri. Think about your smart refrigerator, where you can be at the store and look at your fridge and see how much milk you have. That's embedded technology. And then software engineering, which goes into pretty much everything. And then mathematics, a lot of students, you hear that they want to go into mathematics, and the joke is always, what are you going to be, a math teacher? Like, no, well, maybe, but the modeling and analysis that goes into math these days, data scientist is one of the most in-demand jobs in the world right now. So you can go into your accounting and statistics. You can work in the sports world, stats and data science, cybersecurity. So if you're mathematical, it's a very good pathway to go. You're going to be in demand doing modeling and analysis. So that's what I wanted to go over. Here's my contact information. I'm going to be in the fair as well. If you study STEM, you'll be just as happy as all of these guys jumping around that fountain. So thank you. That was a quick 5 minutes.
Molly, I think you're muted.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about RIT related to STEM. We kind of want to have you look at this a little bit differently. Of course, we have tons of programs in the area of STEM. Being an institute of technology, all of our programs have a very high level of technology, even our liberal arts programs. So you're going to get that, with any program. We have over 90 undergraduate degrees and tons of minors. So you can, earn minors in other areas that you are interested in. But what we want you to know is we actually require every student, even in a STEM program, to earn an immersion in a liberal arts field or program. And I think what is really important about that is, of course, when you go into a STEM program, you get that, level of math and technology and science. But I think people going into these programs also need to have other skills like communication skills and empathy and creativity and leadership skills, because even though you start out in your profession in the STEM industry or in careers, you may change careers or go into leadership where you would need some of these skills along the way. So having those while you're an undergraduate and having to take classes where you're going to gain these skills is really, really important. So I think this is a really great way to get those skills while you're in these STEM programs. Another thing is RIT is a very hands-on university, which I think is really important too, especially in these STEM programs. So we were recently recognized by US News and World Report as being one of only 9 universities that is recognized for our cooperative education program, internships, and research. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those related to our STEM programs. RIT has one of the oldest and largest co-op programs. We've been doing this for over 100 years, and we're one of only 4 schools in the country where co-op is mandatory for pretty much every student. And what that means is you have to go out and work full-time in your field to earn your degree. So many of our STEM programs actually are 5 years at RIT, 4 years of classes and tuition like anywhere else, but you actually work for a year in your field, earning a full-time salary. And, you know, this gets you that job and career experience while you're in school. Obviously, the big takeaway from this is our job placement rate. We have a super high job placement rate in all of our programs, some of them 100%. And we hear back from most of our graduates. We survey them within 6 months of graduating. We partner with about 4,000 companies, so really big name companies all across the world that you can work with while you're an undergraduate and graduate, maybe already have a job, or, you know, be able to quickly get one because of that job experience. Research is also really big at RIT, and not just because you can start doing it as a freshman, which is unheard of at a lot of schools, but because we teach you how to do research. Many students that are looking at STEM programs in college, they take a lot of science classes, AP classes, they're doing labs, but you're never really taught in some ways how to do research effectively. And we do that at RIT for students that are interested. So it's a really big part of a lot of our STEM programs, and students take advantage of this right when they start at RIT as a freshman. We're also very supportive of being creative and innovative and being entrepreneurs at RIT. So we have lots of facilities and spaces for students. We have the Magic Center, which is a digital research facility that you really can't find anything like it in the country. Lots of maker spaces, lots of technology that students have access to, prototyping technology, 3D printers, different things that they can access in their programs as well. And then this is my last slide. We do have combined accelerated pathways where we offer students the ability to earn a master's degree in just 1 year. Many STEM programs, not all, but many, require you to go on to do some graduate work, possibly to get into the career you're looking for. And typically it would take you 2 years to earn a master's degree, but we are able to get students through a master's degree in 1 year by accelerating their curriculum. So I just have a few different options listed here. Bioinformatics, which is biology and computer science. We were the first to offer that program in the country. But like Dan said, analytics is really big. You know, if you want to get into environmental issues, things like that, we have a list of a bunch of different master's degrees that you can combine with your undergrad degree and get it done in less time and less money. I don't have a slide with my contact information, unfortunately, so I'm going to actually put it in the chat so that if you have questions, you can let me know. Thank you.
Okay, so I think that is me. Let me just share, oops, my PowerPoint. You all are going to let me know if you can't see my presentation. Okay, thank you for the thumbs up. So yeah, hi, I'm Julie Lovelace. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I work at Worcester Polytechnic Institute. I wanted to share with you a little bit about WPI and then talk about some of the research projects that our students do on campus. So a little bit about our location. We are in the state of Massachusetts, about an hour west of the city of Boston. We are all STEM all the time. 98% of our students graduate with a degree in science, technology, engineering, math, or business. We are a fairly small university with about 4,700 undergraduates and then another 2,000 graduate or PhD students. And the motto at WPI is theory and practice. And our faculty will tell you that the key word is and. It's not theory, then practice. You're actually doing research at the same time that you are learning in the classroom. So I thought I'd give you a couple examples of fun research that's happening at WPI. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly. But we had a group of students working on a computer science project. They built a machine learning program that could better predict which college athletes were going to be drafted for the NBA. We have creative solutions happening in biomedical engineering. So at WPI, biomedical engineering is a strong program for us. And we worked with an aquarium in Florida that had rescued this adorable sea turtle named Lola. But she had lost a flipper in a boating accident. So, you know, turtles are pretty helpless when they lose a flipper, but WPI students in biomedical engineering were able to design a first of its kind prosthetic flipper for sea turtles. Creative solutions in robotics engineering. WPI was the first university in the US to have a bachelor's degree in robotics engineering. We've had a lot of success with the BattleBots reality television show where robots fight each other. Paul Ventimiglia there, the designer of Bite Force, was a WPI alumni. We have a current college team competing in the BattleBots program as well. Our robots do more than just fight each other. We also have robots that have been developed to help doctors and nurses remove infected clothing, as well as robots that can help with pollination issues, as we're seeing declines in the number of bees. This picture is a little gory, but I figured I'd share it anyway. Our WPI biology students were able to transform a spinach leaf into heart tissue. So essentially they took a spinach leaf, they stripped it of plant cells, they left this clear frame, and then they seeded that frame with heart tissue. It started beating after about 5 days, just like a heart, except that it's a spinach leaf. And so the researchers were really excited because this kind of research can help us use plants to help better filter blood to damaged tissue in human hearts. We also have a creative solution here in mechanical engineering. So this was a project where first year WPI students looked at how we could make wind turbines generate electricity more effectively. And they used a process called biomimicry, which is looking at what exists in nature and applying it to technology. So the shape that they found in nature that was most similar to a wind turbine blade was this whale's fin. Except the big difference is that the fin has this bumpy leading edge to it. So WPI students developed a device that could be retrofitted to existing wind turbine blades that has these like bumps on it and could potentially help the wind turbine generate more electricity. I also want to say all of those were examples of projects that our students have done on our campus, but we do projects all around the world. All of those red dots on that map there represent places that WPI students and faculty travel to complete STEM-focused projects. So maybe working on sustainable fishing in Costa Rica, reducing single-use plastic silverware in Hong Kong, or fighting wildfires in Australia. It's a cool way to see how to apply STEM in another part of the world. So my contact information is there. I'll drop it in the chat as well, but I will turn it over to my colleague, Rachel, next.
Thank you, Julie. All right, can we see my slides okay? Big old Union College on the screen, great. So hi everybody, I'm Rachel McNeil. I'm an assistant dean of admissions at Union in class of 2018. And I'm here to share a little bit about STEM at Union and kind of studying STEM in general. A little bit of background on Union. We're located in upstate New York, just outside of Albany. And Schenectady is a smaller sized city of about 65,000 residents with a long-standing history in technology. The company General Electric was founded in Schenectady. So we have a lot of connections with them, and it gives our area a really rich history and kind of up and coming innovation in science and technology. We're a small liberal arts college that offers engineering. So I think when you think about Union and in the context of this presentation, I'm here to share a little bit about how you can study STEM within the liberal arts context and have a really well organized and rigorous STEM experience with the opportunity to be able to integrate other areas of interest as well. So this is a look at some of our statistics here. We're really big on integration at Union, being able to not only study one discipline very deeply, but also understand how your field interacts with those around it. And having this flexibility to be able to take classes outside of your specific major gives students a lot of flexibility to study what they want to study and the unique intersections between disciplines. These are all of the different academic majors and minors that Union has to offer. There's so many great things happening on our campus with the intersection of these different disciplines. I find that really exciting and encouraging when a student comes up with a really new idea. I've seen students study computer science and English, analyzing how a character's movement or character development has changed throughout a novel by analyzing the language they use towards another character using their experience in computer science, just for an example. We're also really big on immersive experiences. So when I think about immersion, I specifically think about internships, study abroad, and research. So in terms of internships, our students study and do internships all over the world and within the surrounding area. These are just a smattering of different companies that students intern with, and you can study STEM and intern at NBC. And I think that that's a really cool thing to think about, how your experience in the classroom, learning about science, technology, engineering, and math can help you in any field that you want to pursue. In terms of research, Union is really well known for our undergraduate research opportunities. When you come to Union, this is an all undergraduate institution where your experience is what's important here. So we have state-of-the-art research facilities across our campus where students are able to get in there as first years and get that hands-on experience to help them explore particular fields. One of my favorite labs that Union has is our Aerogel Lab. And if you're not familiar with aerogels, it's this really cool substance. It's very, very lightweight and has a really high melting point, which gives it some unique properties. And it's interdisciplinary with mechanical engineering and chemistry. And so our students in both of those fields can do really unique research, developing novel ways of creating aerogels, and they've worked towards patents. And what I really like about the research at Union is that it's mostly about faculty mentorship. And so coming into a field like STEM, you know that you will have faculty who are state-of-the-art researchers who are excited to get to know you and understand what your goals are in the field of research. Faculty. And I think this also sets up how the connections across campus certainly integrate with your academic experience. When you come to Union, you are a fully fledged student and able to take advantage of everything that we have to offer, both in the classroom and outside the classroom. When you study STEM, it can be really fun and exciting to get involved in STEM-oriented clubs and organizations like Baja, or even Rocket Club or Robotics Club. It's teaching kids in local elementary schools about coding. So there's so many ways that you can enhance your overall academic experience by collaborating with people outside the classroom in a really fun and engaging way. And then this is a little bit of a look of where our students go after graduation. Most students after Union go into full-time jobs. Then we have graduate school and professional opportunities, military fellowship and volunteer work. I'll tell you what some of our top producing fields include business, engineering, and education, just to name a few. And what I love about that is that you have students who are studying those fields and they're able to jump right into those careers if they're interesting to them. This is a great example. This is my friend Christy. You can just see a little bit of what she did at Union. And she went into a fellowship after Union, specifically examining the relationship between race and gender and medical care in South Africa. And she, as a research specialist at UPenn when I created this, and just now she started her PhD program in neuroimmunology. So there's so many directions you can go, even with this really integrated and interesting form of study at Union. Just going to skip to my last slide here. This is my contact info. Feel free to keep in touch. I'll pop it in the chat as well, but thank you so much for listening. And then last but not least, I think we're passing it over to Joy.
Hi, this is Joy Walton from Florida Institute of Technology. I apologize. I am coming late to the party and I have no slides. I'm traveling right now and it's not been really good so far. My luggage is missing and everything seems to be missing. So I'm working on a shoestring. So I apologize in advance, but please let me just tell you a little bit about Florida Institute of Technology this morning. We are a STEM university. We have a student body, roughly 6,000 students in total. Our students are coming from all 50 states, as well as from about 100 nations. At our university, one of the things that really separates us from a lot of other universities is you go right into your major. All right. So if you're thinking about going into any field in engineering, aeronautical engineering, you're going to start taking those courses in aeronautical engineering straight away. I'm thinking about going into mechanical engineering, same thing. You're going to start taking those courses right away. I'm thinking about going into pre-med, you're going to start taking those courses right away. However, that being said, you still are taking those gen ed credits as well. Those classes are being infused into your curriculum. Although we are majorly a STEM university, we're known for our research programs, etc., we do have some non-STEM majors as well. So if you're thinking about maybe I want to go into engineering, but I want to minor in journalism, we do have a school of journalism. We have a school of business. I want to go into, entrepreneurship, but I really want to focus my ideas into engineering. You can do that as well. So you can double major, you can major minor as well within STEM, outside of STEM, collectively. Some of the things about our university, all students, regardless of your discipline, whether it's in STEM or not, all students are required to do a bare minimum of an internship. Some of our internships are paid, others are not. However, we do have for those students who maintain a GPA of 3.5 and above consistently while at Florida Institute of Technology, we do offer what we call our we call our fast track program, and in that program, our co-op program rather, and in that program, you are working one semester, and on the next semester, you are in the classroom again. So again, it's giving you that additional hands-on experience. It's giving you an opportunity to network with companies, try them out, see if this is a good fit for you, etc. Those positions are paid. So it's an opportunity, as I said, networking, additional skills, and you're making some money, and you're also accruing those credits in order to continue to graduate on time. Our curriculum is set up that you do graduate in 4 years, regardless if you're doing an internship and or a co-op program. So we do have our curriculum set up that way. So all students are taking anything between 15 to 19 credits each semester. For those students who are thinking possibly, maybe I don't want to be in a STEM program, we have what we call our fast track program. And in the fast track program, instead of graduating in 4 years, you do graduate in 5 years, but you're graduating in 5 years with your bachelor's degree as well as your master's degree. And let me correct myself here, that is available to STEM students as well as non-STEM students. For those non-STEM students in the School of Business, we have an accelerated program. And in the accelerated program, they have the opportunity to receive their bachelor's degree within 3 years' time. So those are some of the things on the academic side. Also, I'd like to stress we are very hands-on, very project-oriented. We have a very strong relationship with NASA. So many of the students in our STEM programs have professors who are also astronauts and or have some relationship with NASA. We are literally in walking distance from Northrop Grumman. So many of our students are doing internships and co-op programs with companies such as Northrop Grumman, Lockheed, Harris, L3 Harris, GE, other industries in our area. We are located in what they call the Space Coast area. So there are a lot of opportunities, especially for those students who are looking for opportunities within STEM. I am an alumni. I have my bachelor's as well as my master's degree from Florida Tech. And I can tell you, we have many, many opportunities. It is very, very hands-on. And I always tell students, if you're thinking about being in a situation where you know your professors know you, you're willing to put in the work, this is a great place to be. Our ratio of professor to student is roughly 1 to 20. I've had classes where I was 1 of 11. I've had classes where I was 1 of 8. And again, I do stress, I can't emphasize enough the hands-on aspect. We are very heavy project-oriented at our university. On the flip side of that, we try to make sure that our students do have a well-balanced education. So you work hard, but we want you also to play hard. We have tons of organizations, over 100 clubs and organizations on our campus. We do have an athletic club on our campus. We have 2 Olympic-sized pools, tennis courts. We're on the backside of a golf course, and we're about 5 miles in from the Atlantic Ocean. So if you're more artsy, we do have theater, we do have art, we have music, we have a cappella singers, we have choir, things of that nature. So we have a lot of different things trying to make sure that our students are well fed scholastically, emotionally, and some entertainment as well. And again, a global environment where our students are coming anywhere from Australia to Zimbabwe and every place in between. So it's a global community, it's a small community, and we are an institution, I'm happy to say, that if you need help and you ask for it, people will help you at our university. I've left my contact information for you available in the chat. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. I am the admissions counselor for Colorado. Thank you.
Now, I think we have a good 15 minutes left for questions. So for the students or family members who are here, please feel free to either raise your hand, unmute yourself, or use the chat to ask questions. I'm going to kick us off with kind of a general question for all of our panelists here. What's one piece of advice you would give to a student who's interested in studying STEM and starting the college search process? Anyone have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'll go. The advice I always give students if they're studying STEM or anything else is get started early. This process is going to move quickly and you want to be on top of it. It's already October. It found us this year, right? So just get started early with everything that you're doing. You're doing this unique process and you'll only do it once, the college search process and choosing STEM as a pathway is an outstanding idea. Everything involved is always in demand. You'll be happy that you did it. You'll be constantly challenged. And as most of us said, most of your classes will be hands-on and exciting every day. At least we hope so.
For those students who are thinking about joining us at Florida Tech, the things that I'm going to be looking for when I review your applications, number one, I'm looking for those 4 years of math and 4 years of science. Your math should include Algebra 2, pre-calculus, calculus, and another math. And your science should definitely include biology, chemistry, physics, and another science. Right off the top, those are the types of subjects that I'm going to be looking for a STEM student specifically. If you are a person that's not afraid to get down and dirty and work hard, STEM is a great place to be. STEM is all about getting involved, getting involved with that research, doing those different projects and things, and not being afraid to learn from those particular errors and mistakes you might make along your journey. It's an exciting field. It's a growing field. I very much encourage women to get involved in STEM. One of the things that we do have at our university, which I forgot to mention, is that we do have an organization, Women in STEM, which is a mentoring program for our female students on campus. It's not just for freshmen, it's freshmen through senior women who are helping them navigate the STEM system and assisting them in getting opportunities post-graduation, as well as internships and co-op opportunities as well. So definitely think of in those terms of what future do you want? And how can you be a person that contributes to making that future workable and successful for yourself and the rest of the world? Absolutely. STEM is the best place to be right now.
I would agree with everything everyone has said. I would also encourage you to get as much information about different schools as you can. Visiting in person is great if you can do it. But the one good thing that's come out of the pandemic is all these virtual offerings. So you're able to get more information if you can't make it to certain campuses, and lots of schools offer STEM programs, but you really want to look at maybe the other things they have in addition to that, to complement that. Like, for example, RIT has a great performing arts program if you're, want to be involved in that too with your STEM program. So finding out not just about the program you're interested in, but about other things that the school is offering. And getting as much information as you can when you're deciding where to apply is really important.
Yeah, and I'll say I second everything, and I think there's so many clubs and activities that are STEM focused in high schools these days. That it's great if you have the chance to get involved in it. I think it gives you more confidence that you're headed in the right direction and that STEM is really right for you. And I think it gives us as admissions counselors more confidence that you know what STEM is all about and you're excited to continue that path in college.
I wanted to add to what Joy said, actually, and I think it's a really good idea to get to know what different institutions are looking for in the application process in general, because I know, at Union, it's going to be very different than at Florida Institute of Technology. So it's good to get a sense of that, ask lots of questions. It's also really nice to understand kind of the structures of different institutions and how studying at STEM at those institutions would affect that. Some universities have multiple different schools, for example, a school of engineering versus a school of arts and sciences. Others will just be all one institution that you're applying.
I think Rachel is...
And are interested in leading. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it froze on my end a little bit, so I didn't know if you were still with us or not, but.
I was just going about my business, just chatting. What did you catch and what did you miss?
I think you got almost all of it.
Okay, great, that's good. What are some other questions that you get asked a lot from students who are interested in STEM?
I know at WPI, we get asked a lot about the ability to change majors. And I think that's a good question to ask admissions representatives, because at some universities, it's very easy to change your major. And at other universities, it's a little more restrictive. I know at WPI, you can change your major anytime because we have a lot of majors that there's very few high school students who know what computational biology is. So we don't really want to lock you into or out of a major, but definitely encourage you as you're visiting booths in the fair to ask colleges that.
I think also I get a lot of students asking about double majoring, and it's definitely something you can do probably at a lot of universities, but in a STEM program, which is, tends to be maybe a more rigorous curriculum. I know at RIT, we would definitely have you sit down with an academic advisor and kind of map that out. And then sometimes students decide to go through with a double major, and it probably will take them longer to get through both programs. But sometimes it makes more sense maybe to minor in the second area that you're interested in, or if the school offers a master's degree that you can add on that gives you maybe that other area that you're looking to study. Like for example, you can do computer science at RIT and then do a master's in software engineering if you wanted, and then you could get both of those areas, have a master's degree, and it, wouldn't take you a lot longer to do that. So double majoring is something you can do, but sometimes it's not the best use of time and money. And, talking to someone at the school once you're there and kind of planning that out, I think is a good thing to do before you decide to do that.
One thing I often tell students and as well as their parents, we all have to remember, this is school, it's not jail. We can change, okay? What I think I was interested in at 17, I might not have lost that luster for it by the time I was 19. So yes, you can change your majors at Florida Tech. So for example, the easiest change would be, I'll use the School of Engineering and Science. I'm in aerospace engineering, but you know what? It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. I think I want to go to, mechanical engineering instead. That's really, I find my passion. That's an easy change because you're still under the umbrella of engineering. That's very easy to do. I'm in mechanical engineering, but I find, you know what? I want to go into the School of Psychology. You can make that change. That's where you're possibly going to extend your time. That would be an example of where you would be extending your time because the curriculum is so vastly different. But yes, indeed, you can make those changes. For students who are asking about double majoring when they come in for a campus visit and they're chatting with me, or if I'm at a college fair, one thing I always emphasize with them, when you come that first semester, don't think about doing a double major. You'll have time if you want to make a double major. Enjoy and get used to the curriculum and the new environment of that new institution, regardless of where you decide you're going to go to school. It's a big change. You think it might not be. You as that potential student, maybe this is going to be so exciting. I'm going to be away from home. I'm going to be in college. When you get there, the reality hits you and you see it's a lot different. There are a lot of different things that are going on that you have to make work because now you're much more independent. So I always tell them that first semester, get acclimated to the school, get a feel for the professors. What's the workload like? You have time to talk with your academic advisor about double majoring, major minoring. You can, as I mentioned the fast track program that you want to maybe stay for that extra year and get that master's degree. Regardless of if you are a freshman or a senior, you have to speak with your academic advisor each semester before you can register for the next semester of classes. So it's an environment that kind of keeps you on track, and it leaves those doors of communication for you and your academic advisor. Your academic advisor is always someone in your major, so they know the classes and they know the curriculum and the stresses that are involved with that double major, that major minor, etc. So those are questions that come up often to me, but I agree with my colleagues here. Those are the things that we try to always emphasize with our students as well as with their parents.
Any questions from our audience?
Do any of you have any questions for us?
One of the things I would like to say for our students that might be participating with us this morning, one of the questions you need to ask yourselves is, what size university are you looking for? Okay, make sure you're finding a university that's a good fit for you. Some students, they want to be in a campus that has 50,000 students. That really energizes them. They feel comfortable in that environment. Other students, they want to be in a more intimate environment. All right, so again, we have a student body of 6,000, 3,500 undergrads, 2,500 grad students on our campus. Again, our largest lecture hall holds 60 people. In a room of 60 people, your professors get to know you pretty quick, versus being in a lecture hall that has 500 people and you have lucky seat 333. All right, and you're hoping that somebody in the closer seats asks a question that you have. All right, so those are some questions that I don't think oftentimes people really consider. So you want to make sure, though, that you're finding that environment that suits you, because you're the one that's going to be living the experience. You know, your parents may say, I want you to go to the XYZ school because it has a great reputation and they're, 75,000 students were, and 30,000 of them are freshmen. That's great. But if you're the person who's saying, no, I think I more prefer something that's smaller, a little more intimate, where people know me, I get to know them, that's something you really, really want to start thinking about. And you're fortunate in our panel, we have a lot of diversity when it comes to that. We have some large, very large schools, some more intimate schools. So as I believe it's Molly said earlier on, you want to do your research, start checking out these things, get on our websites, do those virtual tours, sign up for those virtual panels. We have virtual panels so that you can talk with current students. I'm sure other universities are doing the same thing. Get a feel so you know what to expect or to anticipate when you're making those choices for university. Thank you.
And I think that's why visiting, if you can in person, Joy, I agree, is important. I know you can't always do that, but I know there's sometimes people who think, oh, I really want to go to an urban campus. That sounds really fun to me. And then they visit and they're like, oh, this isn't, really what I thought it would be. I don't want to have to get on a bus to go to every class. I want to be able to walk. And, so being able to visit is important. You can look at all the pictures and virtual things and, those are great too. But actually being on campus and seeing if you can picture yourself there, is really so valuable if you can do it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, and I think we have about 1 minute left, right? Sorry, Rachel. If anybody has any last questions, we're going to be in our separate Zoom rooms soon for the fair. So if you have specific questions for us, you can certainly join and ask in that forum as well. But it looks like we are 12:45. Oh, that's my time. Sorry. Is that right? Oh. I'm Eastern time. This is Mountain time. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So we're done here, but we're going to go to our separate room. So please join us if you do have more questions. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you if you have more questions. Okay. Bye. Thank you.